We are now joined by Brad Keselowski, driver of the number 2 Worth Ford, who will start Sunday's Auto Club 400 second. Brad, talk a little bit about your qualifying run out there and getting all these races underneath your belt now. What you think about the new qualifying format?
I've had a lot of fun with it. I'm not, I don't feel like a very good qualifier, so it took me all 3 shots to get even in the top 10. So fortunately, the last one was our best with getting the second. Really proud of that effort and proud of my team for, adjusting on the car and getting it to where we wanted to be. And we just got a lot of great momentum going, so we got to keep it up. Obviously, qualifying up front is always fun and always a great start to the weekend, but there's more to be done in the race, so we got to keep that going as well. And we've had some really good races as of late. Very happy with where we're at and finding a nice flow for our team. So hopefully we can keep that up and get us another race win here this weekend.
Okay, we'll open up for questions. We'll start right here in the middle with Jeff.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. You almost knocked him off at the buzzer, so to speak. Was there anything to waiting toward the end? Were you just trying to take advantage of the cooler track, I guess?
Yeah, I don't think the track cooled off much. I've read a little bit about that, but I don't think that was the case at all. I think if anything, it was getting hotter. Just we were able to. We needed all the time we could get to dial our car in and make the adjustments we needed, and we just barely had enough time to get it done.
Okay, we'll take one from Alan.
Alan Cavano, NASCAR.com. You improved, each round. Is that you learning something on the track? Your team just making a simple mechanical adjustment, or what accounts for that improvement?
Well, I mean, it's everyone. The car gets better, I get better, and then you learn a little bit from what you did, obviously across the board. So, I think that's really important. I'm not, like I said, if this would have played out the way it was going, we'd have had a 20th place qualifying effort. So, this knockout format has been really good for our team, and being able to adjust and get dialed in at the end when it counts.
Any more questions? Okay, we'll take one from Dustin, then we'll come back up front.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. With this format, obviously, you have to project to some degree the changes. Obviously, you get one lap and you get to do. How much has it improved the thought process or the guessing? Obviously, you guys have hit it and made it to the final round all 4 times, but trying to think ahead of the game and trying to make sure to make the right adjustments or don't over-adjust.
Well, I mean, every track is different. The first 2 or 3 weeks, we saw the cars get faster. I think this is probably the first qualifying effort we've had where the cars have gone slower in the last round, with obviously the tire fall off playing a factor in that. So each week is different, as far as what it's going to take to make it through all 3 rounds. And I think that's part of the, interest and the challenge for us as teams and drivers. And this weekend certainly was different than, the last 2 or 3. And I would expect next weekend to be even, more different, with it being our first, Martinsville being our first flat short track where the tires really fall off. So, I think each weekend's going to have its own challenges, and each track is going to have its own challenges and tire and time of qualifying. And there's just, an infinite amount of variables, and the teams that can dial that in the best are the ones that are going to be up front. And so far we've been able to do that, which I think is a strong statement for our team.
Okay, we'll take a question up front. Go ahead.
Hey, Brad, Brian Belansky from RPMRadioNetwork.com. Conventional wisdom in the last 2 segments was going to be that you'd get one good shot, but it seems like some drivers are getting a second run and making better time. Is that because they've been so slow in their first run, or they're making good changes?
Well, I mean, when you're going all out, sometimes you make a mistake. And that could be with the car, and that could be with the driver, or a little bit of both. And qualifying certainly is, an all-out opportunity. And I think you see when guys go out and make another run, what they're basically saying is we didn't hit it perfect, and this is our opportunity to get it right.
Okay, we had another question over here to your left.
Excuse me.
Hey, Brad. MK Hits with NASCAR Productions. A bit of a preview question. What do you think qualifying would be like at the super speedways, particularly Talladega, since it's coming up first?
Yeah, as it stands right now, a big wreck fest and a disaster, but the super speedway version of this qualifying is, very interesting, and it's not something I'm looking forward to, but we'll have to figure it out. And at the end of the day, it's probably not going to mean much to the race like it will here. So, staying out of trouble and trying not to go through your cars just to get a starting spot that's really irrelevant for Sunday is going to be in the decision making.
Okay, do we have any questions upstairs?
There's one down here.
All right.
This young
We'll come
lady.
back downstairs. We'll take one from Kay.
Carsandcompetition.com. In the beginning, there was concern about the cars backing up the way you have to get ready for the qualifying. Has that passed? Are you guys used to that now?
Yes and no. I mean, it's gotten a little bit better with time, but I don't think it'll get much better. It's just a little bit more of a communication, and talking to the guys next to you. It's obviously a very interesting situation, and I think we've seen that the teams with an early draw in qualifying have a pretty distinct advantage because they have less chaos to go through trying to make their way out onto the racetrack. And there's probably a question of why that's important, but I look at tracks like California here today, being early out on the racetrack was a pretty significant advantage. And, Jeff with his early draw did a great job of taking advantage of that because they didn't have to go through the traffic to get out there. So it's part of the game, and that's part of what makes it fun. And each week will have its own challenges as far as that variable being added to the ones I talked about earlier with Dustin.
Okay, final questions. All right, we'll take a final question from Jeff. Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't understand. Why is it advantage? I mean, just because you're just getting a clean shot at it, and there's no dirty air.
Well, a track like today, California Speedway, in between runs or when there's been a break, the seams that get really hot and the asphalt itself cools off because it doesn't have cars running on it. So the first 2 or 3 cars on the track have a pretty significant advantage. We see that in practice sessions at tracks like this with this type of surface. And then there's other places where it's the exact opposite. Bristol, it was a significant advantage to go out late. So, that's, again, another variable. But for this track, it's a pretty significant advantage to go out early. And the earlier your draw is in line, the cleaner the track you're going to get.
Brad, congratulations on your run today, and good luck on Sunday.
Thank you very much, Christy.